Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to Experience the Trouble, the podcast where real truths, real stories, and opinions clash. I'm your host, Kowski, and buckle up. We're about to get into the troubles. So, the trouble starts now. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about personal life challenges and life experiences. Today's guest is Mello.
What's going on, y'all? Pleasure for you to have me on your nice episode. Episode one.
It's always a great start, bringing some new faces.
Yes, sir.
The public does not know you, so we're just gonna dabble a little here and there about life challenges and what made us who we are as people.
Mhm.
So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Mello, short for Carmelo. I currently reside in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a Haitian American. Um, Pretty much growing up for me, man. I grew up in a Haitian household. I mostly grew up with my mom, so pretty much the way that I was brought up per se. I was always taught to respect my elders, respect everybody around me. But the most important thing is just like treat people with respect. But kind of backfired on me growing up. You know, as I got older, I realized the more nice you are, the more people take advantage of you, and they don't really treat you as a person. They treat you as an option. So growing up is like it took me a while just to kind of understand that philosophy, and it got to a point where I don't like to get close around certain amount of people. You get what I mean? Because but like everybody have their own agenda, have their own type of personality, and I refuse to kind of give my all or give my energy to them in that aspect. So I just learned to kind of set boundaries, understand like you know it's this thing. If the energy is reciprocated, I'm gonna bring it back to you. You feel me? I'm not going to force the issue. I'm not going to force you to like me, love me. I'm not gonna go out my way for anybody unless if I really rock with you.
Awesome. So can you give me an example? Give the public an example of what was the most hardest situation you had to dealt with in your life?
Oh man, this was back in 2014. Started a new school. You get what I mean? Started a new school, and I would say 2 weeks into school, um, I came home from football practice, and my mom told me that the house got foreclosed. And being 17 at that time, I didn't know what foreclosed was, or experience being in a foreclosure until that moment there. And mind you, my mom just had surgery on her foot like a month before, and it was like setback after setback at this point. So mind you, I'm at a new school. I'm on the football team. I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna get my life together. With this foreclosure thing happen, it pretty much set us back. From a mental aspect, the people that I thought was going to be there for me and support me during the tough time, it wasn't there for me. You get what I mean? And from there, it really made me reevaluate everything. Made me reevaluate, can't really put everybody on a pedestal or can't really give everybody the benefit of a doubt. Understand that when you go to shit, you're gonna go to shit alone. You feel me? And the people and the people that you thought would be there for you wasn't there at all, man. Not even like, yo, I have to have a place for you, like, you can crash or here's something, you feel me? It was just some tough times. And every day after school, I had to go meet up with my brother, then my mom. Then next, we would eat out a lot during that time. Then it was just a lot, from a mental aspect. And even like, being at my new school that first semester, I struggled tremendously, man, because it was just a lot. And I didn't have a place to stay at the time. So it's like, I'm going from house to house. And it just taught me, man. It taught me about resiliency, um, you know, perseverance. You know, now that now that I'm 28 now, and I have my own place and I have my own family. If there's one thing that I could tell you right now, I will make sure that my kid does not have to go through what I went through back in 2014.
Okay, awesome. So, what is the learning lesson you got from that situation?
Understand this, man. Don't expect don't expect people to be there for you. That's number one. Number two, work hard, man. Work hard. Like, work hard in terms of like, do not let history repeat itself. You get what I mean? Understand, like, you saw what you went through. This was like, for me, I would say it was like a warning. Like, hey, this was what already happened. Now, if I'm you, do your due diligence and make sure that you take care of your priorities, take care of your business right there and then, just so you don't end up in that same spot again. And number three, man, just don't take anything for granted. Understand, like, in life, just because it couldn't happen to you, just because it happened to that person, it doesn't mean that it can't happen to you too. So understand this, be very mindful, be very humble about the situation. Never downplay people's situation at all, because at the end of the day, you don't know what people is going through.
I mean, that's awesome. I understand that because everybody goes through their own problems on a daily basis. You just have to find a way to like relate to other people when it comes to situations like that.
Oh yeah.
Because if you're not able to relate to certain people, then you're gonna feel like an outcast. But everybody go through their own problems, so it's like it's great that you was able to find your way to like find peace to through those hardships.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And like I said, man, I understand in life we all go through something. It's not about what happens to you per se, but just definitely finding the solution to the issue and just making sure that you just don't let the thing happen again.
That's true. But it's quite interesting. It's like when you look back at it now, it's like you're able to laugh about it, like laugh about all the pains you had because it's kind of funny. Because after after like experiencing those situations, like damn, this was kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie, but it taught me a lot about how to go through life on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
Like it teaches you how to interact with people that's probably in the same situation and like telling them not to give up on their situation.
Oh yeah.
Like there's always hope, there's always going to be light outside of the tunnel, so it's like sharing your stories will just probably motivate other people to become better.
Yeah, man. That's the goal, bro. Especially, if there's any way, that I could help anybody that is probably going to the same situation or that probably been there before, man. Just kind of, just guide them through that situation, man. Unfortunately, uh, I didn't have that guidance. You get what I mean? It was just more of the situation, just kind of just getting through that storm, and just, I guess, once when the storm settled down, just enjoying the sunshine that came with it afterwards.
There's always going to be sunshine in every type of dark situation, so it's like you just got to figure out what's your sunshine.
Oh yeah.
That's the hardest part
Yeah.
because every day you're going to go through your problems.
Mhm.
It's either life, sometimes financials, sometimes women, women.
Yeah, bang bong.
Sometimes it could be your wife, your girl. They could put you down, but you got to find a way to get out of it
Oh yeah, man.
because
I mean, I definitely would like to share my experience, in regards to my wife and Honey Pool. This is me coming from a place of love. Okay. This was back in, I would say, 2023. I'm not going to go into full details, okay, but I'm just going to give you guys just a snippet. And this is more of a relationship advice. So this is just me giving, just proper advice to anybody out there in a relationship, about to get married or whatnot, in a serious relationship.
Yeah, share the goods.
Right.
I'm pretty sure the public wants to know what's
You're
going on.
right. So 2023, we moved from Miami to Georgia, right? I'm thinking, this is just me thinking now, this is not me communicating, but thinking in the back of my head, like, okay, when we move up here, I'm thinking, okay, you're gonna do your part, I'm gonna do my part. You get what I mean? Cool. And more of the story, just know that what was I was doing more than what I had to do. You get what I mean? And I just felt like, um I should have communicated my thoughts, my feelings about what was going on. I just felt like, I would not say I was trying to be macho man. Okay, it's just that one thing about me, I don't like, I like to get things done right there and then. You get what I mean?
I feel you on that.
And I don't got time to be like, bro, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do? Nah, man. It's like, all right, if you're not gonna do it the first time that I ask you, then I'm just gonna do it myself. Then after a while, man, you get burned out. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. You guys will get burned out. And for me, I got burned out, tremendously. And it got to a point where, like, you know, you I end up having a resentment at that period of time. You get what I mean? But that's when I learned, okay, the purpose of communication. It's all about like if there's something that you feel is wrong or that you feel that needs to be addressed, just talk about it. You get what I mean? Do not hold it in. I feel
Sounds like you had a lot of build up.
a lot of build up,
That's what
definitely
it sounds
a
like.
lot of build up, man.
Because that build up is gonna end up it's gonna end you like saying certain things to her, and you like that you didn't mean, but at the same time, it's like you just had it there for so long.
Right.
So it's like you just have to let it out eventually, and that's the baddest part
Yeah,
about
man.
relationships that most people don't understand.
Yeah. Like understand this, man. Being in a relationship, this is not a typical 9 to 5 job, y'all. This is this is
This is 7 days a week, 24
hours.
hours.
This is a continuous grind. You get what I mean? Understand? Like it will never be all sunshine and rainbows, bro. You guys want to go through shit. You feel me? But it's not about staying in the shit, but it's about getting through the shit respectfully. But I would just say this, man. For anybody that's in a relationship, in a serious relationship, about get married, engaged, or whatever, man, just communicate your feelings. At the end of the day, it's not about what you say, but it's definitely how you say things. You feel me?
Preach, brother. Preach.
Okay. Then also too, man, understand this. Like, put yourself first, man. I don't give a damn what anybody tells you. Put your fucking self first,
Put yourself
bro.
first, and don't put yourself in situations where you can get yourself in trouble. I can say that. Because your peace is important.
Yes.
If you don't get your peace, then your problem is gonna be at home,
Uh-huh.
and you don't want your problem to be at home.
Yeah.
Because if she not happy, you not happy. Just know there's chaos.
And like the Haitians would say, "Kakavoye." But yeah, man. I mean, man, I appreciate you for having me on today, bro. Like,
it's always a pleasure.
man, I like to be a part of this platform. I like to bring awareness. You feel me? I don't like to talk just to talk, but I like to bring awareness because we see these things happen every day. But there's the ugly side to it that most people don't know. Where like either jail, death. You get what I mean? I like to kind of prevent these type of situations. I want to be sure, like, hey, you have resources. Use your resources to your advantage. You get what I mean? Don't do anything out of emotion. Let's be more logical.
Awesome, bro. Do you have a social media that they can reach out to you to probably get up your followers? You feel me?
Man, I would say definitely, man. Follow me on Instagram, man, at Mello22. So MALA and Mello MELO 22. The number 22. Follow me, I'll follow back. You feel me? In terms with Facebook, no, we're you guys get my Instagram, but no other social media.
What's wrong with Facebook, yo?
Huh?
What's wrong with Facebook?
My Facebook, it's more personal for me. Okay, more personal. But Instagram, hey, this is my time to interact with you guys. Share memes, sing kumbaya, all that.
Okay, I get it. You want to stay a little private at least.
Yeah,
a little bit. I get it. But this is the end of Experience the Troubles. I'm your host, Kowski, and our guest, Mello. So we're going to kick it out of here. So,
ciao.
Ciao.